guys, welcome to the Bourboneering podcast. I'm Austin. Let's get started. So today, guys, we're going to talk about what we as a whiskey community can do to help with this outbreak. Whether that's help people get through it, help ourselves get through it, or even help others from getting sick, help flatten the curve, as they say. We'll talk about three major things, and I guess let's go ahead and jump in. The first one being listen to your leaders, the medical professionals, your governors, mayors, president. Stay inside, stay away from other people. Social distancing, as they say, keep that 6 feet away. That's the first line in the defense. Don't get anyone else sick, don't get yourself sick. If you are sick, recover by yourself. Don't hasten the spread and overwhelm our medical facilities. Now, this is obvious. I know you've heard this drilled into your head 1,000 times. But that's the number one thing I just want to say. That's what's crucial here, is to stop the spread and to slow down the spread. The next biggest thing as a whiskey community is to share whiskey experiences. Obviously, you want to keep that social distancing, so if you're with your family and friends, make sure you're at least 6 feet apart and under groups of 10. A lot of places are in lockdown right now, so it's going to have to be a virtual. Last night, as of this recording, we did a virtual happy hour with the Bourboneering Bourbon Society, and it worked great. We had up to 40-something people on there at one time. No one was really talking over each other. Everyone got a chance to speak, to share our experiences, share what we're drinking. It was a great time. So that's another way to keep the hope alive, keep the fun alive, the spark. And finally, and this is a big one, to actually help others, a great way to do it is to make sure those in our industry and not in our industry are surviving without jobs or with limited contact with customers. I'm thinking specifically of bartenders, servers, people in the service industry who may not have any work right now. But this can go as far as doctors and other medical workers in your whiskey circle that are affected right now, or busy right now, can't take care of other things because they're helping other people so much right now. But all this wrapped up into one, is best to say, do what you can for them. Obviously, you don't want to make any physical contact right now, but as simple as a thank you, or we're thinking about you, or donating to a charity that's helping out those groups, especially in the service industry right now, is huge. Just some ideas off the top of my head. Again, the Bourboneering Bourbon Society, we raised over $5,000 for, I believe it was over $8,000 for a couple bars that we frequent for our events who are obviously shut down right now. And they were talking about how this is paying the rent for 3 employees that they had otherwise no idea how they're going to pay rent. And it was just a great opportunity. What we did was some people were gracious enough to donate bottles. Ended up being, I think, 39 different bottles, 39 different items, most of them being pretty rare whiskey bottles, and others being like handcrafted staves that were made into flight boards and different things like that. And then just sold raffle tickets among the group at $10 a pop. And that raised, like I said, $8,500 in a week or less. It was really cool to see, and we're going through that raffle as we speak to figure out who gets what. We had the Bourbon Society community is 300 plus people, some in the medical field, some in service industry, different things like that, and we've all come together to help each other. That's the biggest organized event that I've seen. Other ways for raising money, I've seen a really cool way where you count each drink that you have each day and set a certain number, run a tab, if you will, and pay for your drinks. And that money that you would use to pay for your drinks, you donate it to somebody or to a organization that helps people in the service industry. Again, if you feel more inclined to help other industries, don't feel like you just have to focus on these bartenders and people who lost their jobs, these servers who lost their jobs. It's just one of the great causes that you can donate to. But anything helps. Even in something as small as if you don't want to give any money, if you don't have any money to give, then just doing something for them, writing them a card, things like that, especially nurses and doctors, people who are on the front lines fighting this. They may not need the money right now, but they need your thoughts, they need your prayers, they need your effort shown to them, your appreciation, because they're working so hard after hours, longer than they normally have to, putting themselves at risk, interacting with people who have contracted the disease, to save lives, to save other people, to save the people who are sick, to make them feel better. I can't thank them enough. So one thing to do is just be there for your community. If you know somebody in your group that needs work and you have the means to give them some sort of work, even if it's just cutting the grass or something like that, do it. I mean, if you have those means, it doesn't have to be directly monetary. It can be hiring somebody to do something, or cooking them a meal, or things like that. Giving them a place to stay, although be very careful, social distancing. Keep that in mind. But it doesn't have to be monetary. You can do things for people, especially in your local community. If you're in a group of close-knit people, like a bourbon society or a club of some sort that you know, be there for other people. And it's easy to do. It doesn't take any money. It takes very little time, depending on what they need. And you'll see so much appreciation on people's faces. I know this is a little bit more of a somber episode. I just thought it was important to share what you can do to help out in these crazy times. Something to do. If you have the means to organize some sort of raffle or giveaway, do it. That's great. If you have the means to donate, do it. If you have the means to support somebody or a few people, do it. Do what you can do. If it's as little as writing a card to somebody, that's still great. Anyway, alright, enough of this. I'm going to talk about some whiskey now. I'm going to review a nice scotch today, but first we'll take a little break. Hey guys, Austin here with Bourboneering to talk about Prestige decanters. Prestige is where I get my whiskey tasting glasses for all my podcasts. I do all my reviews with these glasses. They're a beautiful tulip shape. They also have a lot of fun rocks glasses and things like that, as well as beautiful decanters like their name suggests. Use the link in the description below and use promo code Bourboneering, and you can get 8% off your order at Prestige. It helps the show out, it helps you out, and helps them out. So check them out when you get a chance, and thanks for listening. Good pop. Alright guys, so today I'm drinking Highland Park 12. This is, it's also known as Viking Honor. It is a single malt Scotch whiskey, 43% alcohol by volume. That's 46 proof. It is a Highland region whiskey, believe it or not. It's a Scotch from Scotland, obviously. It's classic. It's one of the classic, when you think of Scotch, big names of Scotch, Highland Park is one of those. Highland Park 12 is a lot right there with Lefroy 10 in my mind, and Macallan, all those kind of big names. Highland Park's right there. It's one I've kind of been scared to try because of not how expensive it is, but I knew my sweet spot in Scotch was Islay. If I was going to spend the money on it, I was going to get the Islay. But I had the opportunity I'm part of a monthly membership that allows me some credit to a online store, and I was able to pick this one up with my credit. Let me tell you, I'm glad I did. Right, but enough of that. You'll see that in the review. Again, it's a Highland, so it's not an Islay. It's not a smoke bomb like I normally drink, but let's give it a shot here. The color, it's a little lighter than a bourbon, as the Scotches tend to be even for the age, but it has some good straw notes there. Alright, on the nose, right, like a rich apple on the nose. That smoke, there is a little bit of peat smoke coming in at the end, but it's like a butterscotch apple, like caramel apple almost, but green apple, more green apple. That butterscotch is warm and layered. It's not just like a monkey shoulder. That's just that malty butterscotch note. It's more complex, and it's actually like I had a butterscotch candy pulled out right here, with some apple slices and a nice little bit of peat smoke at the end. It's a delicious nose. Very complex. I mean, it's a 12-year-old, so it makes sense. But for a baseline Scotch, it's very, very complex in the nose. Alright, let's see what we get in the taste. More of an apple sauce in the taste. And that smoky note gets kicked up a little bit at the end. But it's not strong. It's not an Isla by any means. But it's definitely there. Like I said, applesauce in the front. Of course, you got that butterscotch. But it's not the most prominent thing. Applesauce. I've never had applesauce in a whiskey before. This is interesting. It's got that sugary sweetness, but it still has that tartness of a green apple or a crisp, very crisp red apple. It's not green apple as that off flavor that I'm going to butcher the name of right now. It's more like an actual crisp red sweet apple with a little bit of sour apple aspect to it. Yeah, apple juice, fresh apple, but it has a little bit more sweetness than a regular apple. Almost like a honey sweetness there. Not brown sugar, not that layered, but it's more complex than just a simple white sugar. And the finish, it's about a medium finish, and I get apple brandy, like almost a layered finish on there. That's very interesting. That's delicious. Alright, well finally let's look at the value. The price on this bottle is, it was I believe it was $30 something, which is great value for what it is. I did not believe it would be this good. I can definitely finish this bottle. This is one of my favorite scotches. This is definitely one of my favorite. I did not think it would be coming into it, but it is now, and I'm trying to refrain from drinking this whole bottle tonight. Finally, my score on the barrel scale, I'm going to have to give it 4.5 barrels. It is delicious. I love this scotch. Y'all need to get your hands on them, Highland Park 12. It's pretty ubiquitous. I think you can do it. Alright guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing me out on my tips here. Hope you can find one that you can do in your community. At the very least, stay safe, stay healthy. Keep your friends and family safe and healthy. And get them through this tough time. We're all going to do it together. Alright guys, cheers. Bye. Thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you subscribe on whichever player you're using. Leave a comment and leave a 5-star review if you can. Once you've done that, go follow me on Instagram at Bourboneering or on Twitter at InBourbon, or go like our Facebook page, Bourboneering. All this, as well as my Prestige Decanter affiliate link and a link to sign up for a weekly newsletter, are all below. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cheers.